Welcome back to Creating Your Life. This is episode 18, More Innovative End Result Thinking. Hi, Mark Andre Alexander here for More Creating Your Life. Let's talk about people who did not think from the end. This is what somebody had to say about Edison's light bulb. Good enough for our transatlantic friends, but unworthy of the attention of practical or scientific men. Of the automobile, the ordinary horseless carriage is at present a luxury for the wealthy, and although its price will probably fall in the future, it will never, of course, come into as common use as the bicycle. And the microchip. But what is it good for? That was an IBM engineer. Peter Ustinov, the famous actor, once said, if the world should blow itself up, the last audible voice would be that of an expert saying it can't be done. High-performance thinkers think from the end. They don't know how they're going to get there, but they're going to get there somehow. And I think one of the finest examples of somebody who thought from the end was Thomas Edison. So let's look at Thomas Edison's work a little bit. He not only invented the light bulb, he invented the phonograph record, the motion picture camera, and dozens of other things. It's amazing the array of things that he invented. Here's his view on creating, and it's instructive to hear what he has to say so you can get an idea what an end result thinker thinks like. If we did all the things we were capable of doing, we would literally astound ourselves. Opportunity is missed by most people because it is dressed in overalls and looks like work. Genius is 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration. Almost everybody's heard of that one. Many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up. I find out what the world needs. Then I go ahead and invent it. Hell, there are no rules here. We're trying to accomplish something. These are the kind of people that we want working for us. These are the kind of people who are cutting edge. These are the kind of people you want to become. The kind of person who thinks from the end, who can see themselves doing things, who's willing to do the work, who acquires the skill, who builds up their own skill base, their own knowledge base, their own experience base, and in the process realize they can accomplish a whole lot more than they ever imagined. Now, one of the things to be aware of is an idea that once you accomplish a goal, you tend to flatten out. For example, when you look at somebody like Edison, how is it that they seem to have so much energy to do so many things? I live here in Silicon Valley, and I've worked with people. It's extraordinary some of the ways people can accomplish so much. They seem to have boundless energy. How do they do that? Well, here's what happens. You have a current goal, and then you achieve that goal, and what happens? The tension goes away. The spring that connects them is gone, and you flatten out. There's no tension, no spring, no creative drive. At the end of the day, think about you work hard all day, and you just want to get home. You just want to get to rest, to watch TV. And you're tired. You've worked really hard during the day, and so you're just done. And you probably believe that you have no energy. You've used it all up that day. You need to watch some television, go to sleep, go back to work the next day. But then what happens when you get a call from a friend from out of town, somebody you haven't seen in years, one of the most exciting people you know, you can't believe they're available, and they say, hey, let's get together tonight, go out to dinner, hang out. And you suddenly have a lot of energy, and you go out with this person, and you spend the evening you're up till 2 a.m. talking, and you finally get to sleep, and you go to work the next day, but you feel refreshed because you had such a good time. How does that happen? Very simply, you had a goal. You had a goal that was something you wanted, and the energy and the motivation came back. And this is the secret. What high-performance people like Edison and a lot of the people who create in Silicon Valley, what they're doing, they have overlapping goals. Just as they're flattening out, as one goal is coming to the end, they already have another goal set up. So they continually create things They're obviously in the best position if their goals are things they want to achieve, so they're continually busy. The goals are always there, the motivation is constantly there, the energy is there. They have to sometimes just, this is why they'll take cat naps instead of sleep for hours like some of the rest of us do. They're so busy with what they love to do, they're accomplishing so many things, and the energy is always there. It's also important that once you understand the concept of flattening out, you understand why it's important to set the right goal. So think about a ball team in the World Series and a coach who knows about how the mind works, knows about setting goals to create energy motivation, knows about visualization, knows about the 15 times exercise, and has his team do it. And it says, all right, our goal is to get to the World Series. All right, everybody imagine that. We're getting to the World Series. We're getting to the World Series. And they work hard. They have the vision, they have the goal, they have the motivation, and they get to the World Series. And then what happens? They flatten out. They set the wrong goal. What goal should they have set? To win the World Series, of course, not to just get there. Once they get there, they flatten out. But once they set the goal all the way to what the real goal is, they achieve it. So when you set goals, be sure to make sure you're setting the actual goal you want. I may have given this example before. I had a time early in my life where I was using imagination to create my life. And I thought, oh, I can create the perfect girlfriend. And so I created all these criteria. I listed them out and imagine this is the girl I want. And sure enough, I got her. And it took me about 2 years to get out of it because I'd been so specific with the list of what I wanted. And as far as her characteristics was concerned, a whole lot of stuff came along that didn't apply. And so suddenly I'm there with somebody that, yeah, they have all these characteristics, but I didn't take everything into account. So I really didn't get what I thought I want. I got something else. High performers create overlapping goals. That's what you want to do if you want to create more energy in your life. Have goals that you love to achieve, have them overlap. Let's talk a little bit and close out with the power of imagination. If you can dream it, you can do it. In 1994, there was a meta-analysis of performance literature, athletic literature. And meta-analysis means they just looked at a bunch of studies and they found that mental practice has a clear positive and significant effect on performance. I mean, when you look at performance literature, it's full of studies that show that mental practice is valuable. In 2010, a study on becoming habituated to certain foods was done. They had 5 groups against control groups. They imagined eating, and they found the mental representations can engender habituation. In other words, if I imagine eating a lot of cherries or cheese or something, I can actually feel sated by that and have less of a desire for it in real life. In 2014, there was a study on just imagining exercise. They put casts on the wrists of people and instructed them for 11 minutes, 5 days a week, for 4 weeks, imagine exercising your wrist. And they were wrapped so that they couldn't literally do it. They ended up being twice as strong as the control group. So imagination does have a powerful effect on performance. That's all for now. Next time, we're going to talk about advanced imagination and the kind of techniques involved with that. In the meantime, my book, Creating Your Life, is available on Kindle and paperback on Amazon.com.